The wait is over. You need linger before the waterfall of fire no longer. Welcome to After Dawn, the show where we sit down to have a cup of coffee with the cast, crew, and creators behind Hallowed Haven Studios Productions. I'm one of your hosts, Bookkeeper, and with us, of course, is the mighty Latte.
Hello! Our guests for this discussion of Season 3, Episode 8 of Scion Apotheosis, Welcome to My World, are the players of Andre Briscoe and Coda Massaquoi. It's Solomon and Sticker. Welcome back to the studio, you guys.
Yo!
Always happy to be here.
We're always happy to have you.
Indeed. Speaking of big, fantastic entrances, Sticker, Coda made quite the entrance into this week's episode. How did you enjoy Jack Sparrowing your way back into the story? And what can you tell us about what happened while she was away?
What can I say? Okay, so first, it was nice to come back on a ship with her. You know, it's thinking just separately about it, or whatever. Looking at it from a distance. In that moment on the ship, she's like thinking through like, oh, I've had this time. I did this thing, like a deep introspective moment of like looking inward and not realizing what's going on around her as the ship is like, so it's like, it reminds me of those moments where in a show, someone's just like, what's going on here? And then it cuts to something fast moving and then it cuts back to the like, and then finally her being like, wait a second. So it felt like one of those moments. But what did she go through? So, what can I say? I mean, it's the after talk, so I can say whatever, right? So when she stayed with Cersei, the first thing that happened, of course, they partook in actions that were intimate. With which, of course, Coda was really awkward and nervous about it because she's an awkward, nervous being underneath everything. Then afterwards, Cersei showed her 4 different cups. Let me find the exact, because it was a whole thing that happened, and I'm so happy about it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, not gonna lie, Clara, who played Cersei, wrote a whole ass like Google Docs describing everything that was happening.
Nice.
I am so happy and so honored. Let me open up the Google Docs so I could say exactly. So it was 4 cups. 1 cup was made of iron. No, 1 cup was made of wood. The other cup was made of metal. We have a lot of so and so, yada yada. Yes, okay. 1 was made of wood, 1 was made of silver, 1 was made of gold, and 1 was made of glass. The wood one essentially was like a cleanser. She drank it. It was like warm, bitter, and sour, and it like burned her insides and like made her like pretty much cough and cry and purge everything out, but in a way of like she was burning the poison that was in her, which, looking at it more symbolic, was all the trauma she's been through and all the stuff that she's let simmer inside of her and not release. Yeah, it was crazy. So then once the pain settled, it was then like, okay, like, let's talk about what's going on with you. So after she did like a talking, that's when she drank from the silver cup, which was meant to be restorative. And then they had like questions about like, why do you preemptively push people away? Stuff like that. And that was meant to be the restorative drink. Then the next drink after that, which I can't remember what cup it was meant for her to start fighting and getting out that energy. And hopefully this comes up more, but Coda's leaning more towards dancing. I think that's where her where she's working through her anxiety and the stuff she's going through, because she really enjoyed when she was briefly dancing and took down what's her face, Gwen. And her sword is also called, besides the name she gave it, it's called the Desert Dancer. So she's becoming a blade dancer. That's what I'm thinking. After all this, I was like, Coda's gonna get into dancing. Do I have any dots in art and dancing? No, but that's what I'm gonna work towards.
That's fantastic. That's an
Yes.
amazing story.
Yeah, I forgot what the last cup did.
It erased the memory of whatever it did. It was just it was something positive, but you don't know what.
Yeah. Oh, and then she gave Cersei at the end, gave Coda a crystal, those crystals that grow gardens inside of them, and like the garden actively grows, and it's meant to look like the grove she was in when she was with Cersei on the island, to help her have a place of like a center of peace that she can constantly refer to.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's what happened. Whoever's listening to this, you really got some inside scoops.
Indeed. Come join our Patreon so you get them faster.
Come join the Patreon. But that was it. A lot.
Speaking of Coda kind of taking up blade dancing, can we talk about the stunt with Cerberus? Because that was absolutely wild. Like, the quick thinking using serpent's gaze. And Coda has no dots in arts. Like, how did you come up with that idea?
I like to say I'm so happy we have the group that we have, like the band that I'm in. Because Coda aside, I regularly forget the different things you can do in Scion. So in my brain, I was like, I gotta be able to do a stunt. Because I know Oliver / Gary always mentioned stunts, and we always do stunts. So I got to think, what kind of stunt can I do? And I was like, well, going through my knacks the whole time, because everyone's doing these different things to make it calm down. And then I remembered that BP said, oh, there's like snakes on Cerberus or something. And I was like, I didn't know Cerberus had snakes on them. So I was like, snakes. Serpents, serpent gaze. And I was like, I wonder if I could keep this dog still. But I was like, but that's going to do nothing. It has 3 heads. But then I was like, but snake charmer, that might be kind of cool. Let's see if that works. And after hearing everything that everyone was doing, I was like, oh yeah, we got the tunes. We got the calming vibes. Yeah, snake charmer. I kind of hope everyone else got legend too, because everyone else helped to get to that point.
Nope.
Like, it was such an amazing, like, collaborative effort, and I absolutely loved the moment where the BP was like, does Coda have any dots in arts? And you went, absolutely not.
No. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of one of the things where I was like, oh, she doesn't have any dots in this, but I think this is now like her own innate, like, because she's very dexterous. She's got that cat in her. And then she also really enjoys fighting. So I kind of felt like that's kind of what is weaving into its own form of art. But would she call it art? No. She would just be like, I just did it. It's not art. So now I'm going to start building my sheet so that, I can actually have dots in that.
Is it dancing or is it just vibing in rhythm?
Vibing in rhythm. She was just at a rave with her sword.
But now, Saul, Andre and Oliver had a little heart-to-heart about the challenges Andre is facing in his own life. Do you think it's safe to say that Andre is starting to bond with the band?
I definitely would say so, especially given that he's from starting out from where he was just like, oh, I've heard of these people. Oh, I'm in trouble. To actually getting to sit down and talk to them. It was actually really fun to see that they've through the weeks of melding the minds and teaching Clint, he's actually gotten to get to know them and want to actually see them as friends. Since he doesn't get to do that very often, since he's usually whisked away into some forge where he and his brothers and sisters all just work to make things. This is one of his first times being out in the field for a while.
No longer on the factory floor.
Exactly.
Actually having to people.
Oh yeah, him and his 0 dots of presence.
So Andre's definitely been has Andre been enjoying this kind of downtime? I mean, aside from obviously the kind of perils that the band has kind of put him in.
Downtime.
Aside from Cersei's Island, he's been actually quite enjoying himself. He's been enjoying getting to actually know the people that he's heard so much shit about and to make his own opinions on them. And he's also actually just really enjoyed getting the chance to stretch his legs and do things aside from just putting together weapons all damn day. To think on his feet has been a whole lot of fun for him, and especially to actually get to do things in collaboration with other scions of other people aside from just his own dad. He loves his dad and he loves his siblings, but it's nice to actually get to see other individuals with other skills.
Kind of being able to kind of take in the world a little bit outside of the design and engineering of his day-to-day.
Exactly, and getting to enjoy seeing other people be extremely good at whatever they're good at, because he just finds it immensely satisfying to see people just be very good at something, even something he's not as skilled at.
Well, Solomon, Andre's been spending a lot of time during this labor as kind of a native guide to the perils and personalities of the Dodecatheon. And although we know he has friends and contacts from other pantheons, how much does Andre normally get involved in the family business? Like, does he enjoy being caught up in family drama, or is that something usually he would shy away from?
It's something he embraces. He is someone who wants to embrace every aspect of anything he interacts with, the good, the bad, the ugly. Like, he fully enjoys the fact that his family is as like close together as they are, but he also fully admits, yes, they're also incredibly messy and very petty, but they're still my family and I love them. It's very much taking the good with the bad, or as he puts it, embracing the man and the monster.
The inclusions in the crystal.
Yeah. The way he puts it is like he himself is someone who is very, admittedly, a little bit proud of his mind, but also very much focusing on trying to improve his own body, because he basically said when he was younger that when he learned about this thing, he wanted to be the mind of Daedalus and the ferocity of the Minotaur.
Those are goals. Those are huge
Wow.
Those are
goals.
goals.
You gotta aim high. If you don't aim high, what the hell are you aiming for?
Icarus.
I mean, you just gotta and he didn't aim high, he just flew high. That's his fault.
Well,
Oh, now we're victim blaming. I see how it is.
He was told everything he needed to do not to die. That's his fault.
Oh my gosh.
He didn't pay attention during the safety seminar. It was done at the front of the plane.
Exactly.
Gotta listen to your safety briefings, people.
This PSA brought to you by After Dawn.
Well, now we saw a lot of relationship talk this episode, talking about we had the moment with Moira, we had talk about Andre's relationship, and so inquiring minds want to know, as players, what are your hopes for your characters and their relationships as they stand? This was for both of you.
I'm gonna let Sam.
No,
talk about
I
this
don't want to go first. Okay.
Too bad. I already.
I truly don't know. I truly don't know. Not gonna lie. I was talking to my partner about this, and I was just like, I don't know what I want for Coda, and and they were like, well, like, do you like Nat? And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, and then they're like, does Coda like Nat? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, but do they not like them? And I'm like, a little bit. And I'm like, oh God, it feels so bad to say that. But I don't know. I really don't know. I truly do not know. Because I think Coda is growing up. my girl.
Mhm.
I think Coda is growing up. And I'm not sure if after this moment in time that she's having in growing, if she would still be the same person that wants to date Net, or if she gets out of this, will she have more clarity in their situation with her and Net right now? But I personally do not know. I have not a single clue.
So it's definitely a thing that Coda is going through, like growing more in the comfort in her own skin and kind of becoming this new and improved Coda, and you worry that maybe new and improved Coda and Net won't vibe?
Yeah. Or maybe they will. Or maybe they won't. I don't know. I truly don't know, and I guess I'll find out because we're finally making our way to Egypt, I think. So I'm sure there's going to be some kind of growing happening in the next 2 episodes because Coda's going home. So I don't know what that's gonna what will be spawned upon in that moment. But yeah, I will say I think a moment that needs to happen, and I don't know if it will happen this season, is that I think Coda wants to tell Net that she has Stefan's true name, but I think that'll be a lot of drama.
That will either be the rise or the fall.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a shit
Yeah.
show either way.
Yeah, because I think that's the thing that's really getting her is that like she's like, I know you want to kill this guy, but like if you kill him, that kills me. But at the same time, like if he does fuck up, I will kill him myself, which then also means like I'll be offing myself as well, you know? So she's like, I don't know what to do in this moment with this person you hate so much. Because if he dies, that's me as well. So she feels like her hating him is hating her, but that's not the case, but that is the case, you know?
The
Should be-
ultimate rock in a hard place.
Yeah.
It should be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Just dump that secret out at the end of this. I should do that the last second of the last episode of this season. And then skip a whole season. Anyways, that's
So-
my response.
Saul?
Oh boy. There is always the idea that he will end up following in his father's footsteps in not having the best relationship with women, or there being very big things that come between the two of them. But I am pulling that hopefully he gets a chance to talk to me and they can work things out. But if not, and if like the Kali is like stepping in and really trying to push this and to separate them, he understands that that he will fight tooth and nail for her, but he also understands that he is still a more relatively mortal plus trying to fight a god, and that's not going to end well for anyone. But he has hope that he can actually get through to her and they can try to make this work, because he has faith in their relationship and the fact that they are both logical thinking adults. For the most part.
One of the skulls on Kali's belt when she's in her 40-foot tall form does say, "You must be at least this tall to ride."
Yeah.
Ooh.
But yeah, I'm hoping that goes well. Also, I think that now Andre might have a very different kind of relationship with death, given that now he's sure that if he just does well enough, he'll get to see his aunt again, because she was like one of his favorite people in the entire world. Which might not go well for Stefan when he sees him.
But that's an interesting question. It's something that hasn't really come up much. Is death is not guaranteed for scions, even of like old age.
True, yeah. If you live long enough, you might become an immortal god. I mean, that could go either way, of being good or bad.
I totally spaced that scions could actually ascend to godhood until this exact moment, and my entire horizon has opened up.
Yeah, you said that, and I was just like, wait.
Yeah.
So it really is so bad that so many of them died.
It is a possibility. It's not a very likely possibility, but it's there.
There's a reason there are 3 books in the series: Hero, Demigod, and God.
My mind is completely blown right now.
I can't wait.
Do you think it'll be like season 7 when somebody ascends to godhood?
I think Clint's phone is going to ascend to godhood before all of us.
Somebody actually posted in the Discord, and I commented on it, and I decided that it is going to be called the Cosmic Galaxy. It's a Samsung phone that you can text any god that's in the contact list, but it's up to them if they respond or not.
Yes, I did see that, and it's so true. I've just been thinking about that every time he gets another phone number. I'm like, that there's gonna be so much fate tied to his phone. Like
Oh yeah. The amount of fate bonds in his phone are just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if he left it at a Starbucks?
Oh my god. Dang, that's a whole... I can't wait for people to write about Clint's phone.
Guys, I forgot the deity of digits.
And Clint's passcode is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna unlock it and just start texting people, "Hey, I just found this phone. Whose is it?"
It's 6969.
Morgan herself will come down and like tear that person a new asshole.
Or she won't, because she would see it's a text from Clint and never check it.
It's a little too real.
Oh no. Leave it about red even when it's someone else.
Solomon, going back to the Cerberus incident, I got to see Andre with the mysterious orb, and it made musical lullabies. Without spoilers, can we know more about this orb? Is it a multi-tool that Andre is trying to figure out, like a puzzle or something?
Yes, and the worst part is that he built it and he doesn't know what it does. He built it because...
Wait, so Andre built it?
Yeah, he built it, put it together himself, based entirely on snippets of schematics he got from his dreams, and has been trying to determine what exactly its main purpose is, aside from the little things of just like a fidget toy and a music box.
So Andre is seeing this in his dreams.
Yes. It is entirely from mixes of things he's seen in his dreams and bits and pieces of how he's learned to make things from interacting with other scions of Forge gods and goddesses, like hanging out with scions of Ta and Brigid and all of them.
That is amazing.
Yeah. It's kind of like
really cool.
It's kind of like the box from Hellraiser. He's kind of afraid if he opens it, someone's going to come out and murder him.
The new and improved Pandora's box.
Oh, God. Hopefully it's more the drop of hope at the bottom of the box as opposed to all the evil of the world.
You opened the orb. You summoned us.
We came. Ugh.
We have such sights to show you.
Oh, no.
No, really. We're here from your Uncle Dionysus. Come on, it'll be fun.
I would see Dionysus pulling shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact, Dionysus is actually the one person in the Dodecatheon I would never fight.
May I ask why?
Why?
Because no matter what restaurant you go into, they'll ask you red or white. You can get wine on any continent on the planet. And if that wasn't enough, because Dionysus is linked to Pan and Ceranos, Dionysus has madness and also has wild places and wild growing fruit. So you're not even safe in the woods from Dionysus if you leave the location.
That's true. People sleep on the weird little purviews he has. Everyone's just like, oh, the wine guy. It's like, no, but there's more to it than that. There's so much more to it than that.
And if that wasn't enough, every fraternity I've ever known has a baccalaureate party.
Yeah.
Where they all dress up in togas and chant. And I'm like, this is scary.
The small matter of the cannibal women who will chase you forever.
I mean,
not the nice kind.
oh, well, I mean,
It's a
JK.
it's a mean nibble. Well, turning back to Coda,
Yeah.
her entreaty to Hades included a sort of like pre-apology in case of her being rude. Do you think Coda is becoming more self-aware of how she comes off to people? So, talk to us a little bit about what's going on in Coda's self-conception.
I think, yeah, she is. I think she was already self-aware, but she just didn't care. You know what? No, that's a fib. I think it's a combination of there was moments where she knew she was being rude, but she's like, I don't care. Like, deal with it. But then there's also the parts where she's like, what do you mean it's not okay to say something like that? Like, I'm being honest. Like, would you rather I lie to your face? Like, what? Like, what's going on here? So, like, I could see that being her vibe, but now, especially since the talking with Alexandra and other people over the series or the seasons, she's like, okay, wait. Some gods don't mind if you just call them by their first name. Some gods have a stick up their ass. Some gods, you just start off with something. And then she's also seeing like Andre is like, my lord, and all this like stuff and like bowing his head and doing all this stuff. And she's like, well, I ain't doing all of that. She's like, but if someone is doing that and Andre knows a lot and Oliver is also doing that, they know something. And while I won't do that, I'll at least be respectful. But then sometimes, like in that moment, she was just like, wait, shit, I can't curse. Can I curse in front of them? And then she's like, nah, shit. And then she's like, sir. Because she's like, you're not my lord, because one, no one's my lord. And then also she's like, this is like, she knows lord as like religion. So she's like, you're not like my lord. And you're also not like the person that I like do stuff for or to. Or she's still understanding what that is.
Kind of figuring out that like divine hierarchy, like where exactly on the like respectful scale should I be? Like, are we on the same level, or are you like way up there?
Yeah. And then at the same time, she also knows that she's like, I'm also still here representing, like, obviously they're representing myself, representing my mom, and then representing my pantheon. So she's like, I also don't know if I should really be bowing my head to every single person who's like, I did this thing in my past life. So she's like, okay, I'll be respectful, but I'm not gonna bow to everyone just in case they're like, did you see? That scion of Bastet bowed to me, and literally she know that we fought back in so on and so, all that. So Coda's also like, I can't just bow to everyone, but I guess I can't curse out everyone too. Yeah.
Now I have a question for both of you. Having left Cersei's island and now completed the task of the Dodecatheon, the band is that much closer to realizing the goal of freeing Stefan. How does the band feel about that? And how do you as a player feel about being so close to Stefan's release?
As the one with Stefan's true name, I'm gonna let Sticker handle this one first.
What? Oh, okay. Ooh. Okay. I'll just say the easiest answer. Coda has not thought about that yet. They've been bouncing from labor to labor to labor to labor, and she literally just had like a vision quest moment. So she's still like figuring out her own ish. I think once she gets to Egypt and like figure out like, oh wait, this is the last thing, and then we have to really do the thing, she'll have a proper breakdown. Me, I'm really nervous. But I'm also excited because one, we get to actually get to know Stefan. Because little thing, I was not around for the episode when they talked to Stefan and had Stefan, decide to be, what's the word? When he
When they
decided,
talk to Stefan to reform and possibly
yeah,
like become a member of the band.
yeah, I wasn't around that episode. So I just came back and was like, this is what we're doing. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. I'll figure out why Coda does or does not like this. So now I'm excited to actually figure out what this Stefan is like, have Coda interact with him and see what that brings to light, especially having his true name. And then I think this is a true start to Coda wanting to be the something of redemption and like truly understanding what does it mean for someone to be redeemed. And if he could possibly be redeemed. So this is like opening a whole new responsibility for her that hopefully I hope she's ready for, but it's the world of Scion. Is anyone ever truly ready for anything?
No, that's where we take solipsistic well-being.
Yeah. That's my response.
Your turn, Saul.
Oh God, Stefan being released. From a logical standpoint and a standpoint of possibly having one and not just one more, possibly other Loki scions that could be adopted by others to become more bodies to throw against the Titans. Very into it. Very open to having more people that are not getting shit canned just for who their dad is and getting to show that, hey, we're pretty badass and we can handle ourselves and help out. On the other hand, it's Stefan, who not only killed a lot of his friends and some of his other family members, killed Moira. He's going to be trying to fight back every instinct to just take his axe out and behead him. I think. He wants to give Stefan the benefit of the doubt, but there's just too much really, really bad blood spilled between the two of them, I think, for him to be even close to anything like very civil. He's the best he can do is try to be firm but fair, I think.
Now, is Andre aware of the punishment Stefan is undergoing while all this is going on?
It's a good question. I think Andre just knows that he's like incarcerated in some way.
Mm-hmm.
He probably doesn't understand what the nature of that incarceration is, but I think even no matter what it would be, given who Stefan has taken from him, he probably wouldn't think anything would be bad enough.
Mm.
But he's willing to try to let Stefan show that he is not just capable of being helpful, but actually like remorseful.
Mm-hmm.
and he wants to see him become a better person, but it's not someone he's going to forgive.
And that's going to be hard given that Stefan is originally a child of a trickster god.
Exactly.
So, well, we kind of got the answer to this one for Coda, and I guess this would be more a question for Andre. And like, you're starting to bond with the band, maybe thinking about seeing who they are, where they can go. Has Andre considered what it would be like to be in a band with Stefan? To say nothing of like, have either of you considered the idea that you're going forward post labors? Yeah, a lot of that anger, as Andre has said, hasn't gone away, and now his name is going to be right next to all of yours whenever you guys go out and introduce yourselves. What does that mean? What does that mean to Andre? And what do you think it will mean to Coda when she takes time to think about it?
Hmm.
Would you like me to handle this one first?
Yeah, you go first. I'm trying to
Okay.
put my thoughts to words.
I think it means that Andre is going to be having to kind of play as bulwark for a lot of the shit that's going to be thrown at them for having Stefan on the team, just in general. Not only given the fact that we have been working to get him out of incarceration and to show that he can be redeemed and he can do better, but it's very much he's not going to like Stefan. He's not going to really be a fan of Stefan being there, but he will do everything he can to make sure that Stefan gets a fair chance. The very least he can be to Stefan is fair and open to seeing what he can do to show that he does have genuine remorse. Now, he might also at one point lash out and maybe crack Stefan across the nose, because he just feels like that might be at the very least owed to him for what he has taken away from his family. But he's not going to try to hurt Stefan or make him trip up. He wants to see what Stefan can do of his own volition, if he really means this.
Andre doesn't seek to push Stefan back into who Stefan used to be and like force him to mess up. Andre wants to see for real that he is redeemable and he wants to be redeemed.
He wants to see the genuine Stefan, or as genuine a Stefan as Stefan will choose to show. But if he does slip up of his own volition, or he does things that are like, aha, it was all a clever ruse, Andre will be the first to take up arms against him. And he may apologize for the lashing out if he does lash out, but I think that for the most part he probably wouldn't. It's like, yeah, that did suck, but you did also take my one of the favorite people in the world from me. So I think I'm owed at least that. It's hard to fight vengeance when it's your highest virtue.
Yeah. I heard that and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Coda, I think it'll be Coda's what's not diplomat? What's the word? The person who like not instigator. Mediator arc. I think it'll be her ideal time to learn. Not ideal. Well, no, it'll be ideal time to learn like this is the effect you've made on all these people. Yeah, I don't know. It's just you've hurt a lot of people, and yes, you're redeeming yourself. And she is going to try to bring home that like, while yes, he did like terrible crimes, and yes, we're working to get him redeemed, but we're also or maybe not we, but she will not stand by for people to just like be like, you know, do the exact things that led him to be where he was, you know? Like,
It's
because
trying
she's,
to set a good example for Stefan moving forward and showing Stefan like how you can be a good, like a quote unquote, like good scion. But
yeah,
also, it's kind of trying to show other people that Stefan wasn't shown this path before.
yeah. And so, of course, there's going to be levels of her being protective of Stefan, but then there's also the levels that's like, you need to see what you did. Like, these are the things you did, and now you have to, in a way, fix it. But at the same time, she's also going to be like, I'm here to support you, but you cannot be playing around with these people's feelings, right? Um, so I
So
feel like if Andre did punch him, she'd probably be like, that's valid. But you know, it's kind of like what my teacher did one time in high school. She's like, "You kids fight it out right here in the classroom, but once it's done, and I'm continuing my lesson." Like, and I don't want any other beef outside of the classroom. So that's kind of like her. She's like, "Listen, y'all fight it out, but then let's move past this."
it's definitely that vibe of just because we did these labors and got you out doesn't mean we've said your apologies for you.
Yeah. Like, we just sped it up so that you can start working on it sooner. We didn't speed it up to be like, oh, he's forgiven now. We're like, no, you need to start working on this now while it's still fresh. Not once it's settled deep inside everyone's hearts of what he did. Like, no, this stuff is still happening. Gwen is still out there doing these things. We would like you out here now so we could start doing something about it, because you were once out there doing that with Gwen. Yeah. This game's gonna give me a heart attack.
Speaking of all of the labors, I have a question for both of you. If you had to do another labor for one of the pantheons you've already completed labors for, which one would you choose and why?
Andre wanted to do something for the Devas, if only just that way he could maybe have a chance to see his girlfriend again in person, because there's only so much that can be said through texts and phone calls.
Yeah. I mean, Coda would probably say the Loa, or I don't know what's the name of the pantheon, but when we went underground and really fucked things up. Not underground.
Tommy?
Yes, I would love to go there, and I feel like Coda would want to go back there. Ooh. Sorry, I kicked my cat by accident. Yeah, Coda would love to go back there, but also the Loa for sure. Like, she loves Shango. Shango's like a dad to her. So, and the people she met there were pretty sick. And I agree. I would also want to go to those places. Not gonna lie, I also feel like Coda would want to go to the Celestial Bureaucracy, but just to be like, look at all this great stuff that we can do, and we're doing it successfully. Ha.
Just to rub her success in Ned's dad's face.
Look how cool I am. Fuck you, Neja.
Yeah, I am doing things, sir.
Oliver delivers a treatise on why Huangdi sucks.
Yeah.
Yep. I have one statement with 47 subpoints.
Yes.
Now, speaking of wish fulfillment, we did get to see the mythological monster of Latte's dreams, a dog with too many ears to rub at once and 6 puppy dog eyes. If you could see and possibly tame any mythological creature in the known universe, which would you pick?
We already did it. For me, that right there. Unless there's like some kind of cat critter out there that's like
Coda, there are sphinxes in the Egyptian
wait.
pantheon.
There's a Sphinx. Okay. I wonder who would win in a fight. But that's a whole different conversation. Yeah.
Cerberus, I choose you.
Oh Christ!
So I was very excited about Cerberus. And then now that you mentioned Sphinxin? Pokemyth. Yes. So that's my response. I think a dragon would be cool. Oh, the Loch Ness Monster, but I'm not sure if that's real.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of different myths. Oh God, there's so many choices. I honestly think it'd be really rad to be able to enter into a partnership with the Thunderbird or some like grand majestic like winged beast like the Thunderbird or the Rock or perhaps the Phoenix, something like that.
One of the flying dragons from
Yeah.
one of the celestial bureaucracy would be wicked.
Very cool.
But of course, that's just my answer. I think that the answer for Andre would be anything that was made of clockwork. Like if there was like a mythological version like of any of the beasts made by Ta, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
I could see Andre with like a clockwork German Shepherd, like one of the Boston Dynamics robots, but it's made out of brass.
Oh, that.
Call him Cog.
Mhm.
Well, that concludes our questions, which means it's time for the free for all. So, Coda, our sticker, Solomon, you may fire your questions at each other or at us if you're feeling weird. What you got?
I feel like so many of the questions I was going to ask kind of ended up being brought up.
Okay.
What? Ooh, okay. Okay. What are you looking what are your thoughts on what the prophecy was about? Everyone, I want to know.
Oh boy. I have a mix. I have some actual knowledge about what might be happening out of character, and I got burned by accidentally mixing that in character and out of character last time. So I will say what I think out here, and I'm going to say that Andre has little to no fucking clue of what is going to be coming up forward. So I think that that the vision was of our job for the Pesejet, and that trying to get the feather used in the Duat trial is going to go horribly, horribly wrong.
Okay.
On advice of counsel, I am going to exercise my rights under the
Right.
Fifth Amendment, refuse to testify.
Yeah.
Right. Same thing, Latte?
I have so many ideas.
Okay.
Because there are so many different ways to view it, because the obvious answer is that it's the feather that Anubis weighs your soul against. But there's also a chance that it could be a sphinx feather. And sphinxes are known to be adamant about justice and the truth. If you lie to a sphinx, they'll eat you. So it could be that there is some kind of like sneaky business going on in the background, as well as trouble in the Duat.
Ooh.
I was just worried about that since the hole is like it's what looks like a being with great wings. It comes out with a giant sword. I'm just like, oh no, that's an angel. That's one of Aten's things. That's bad.
That's very bad.
That's like a direct, powerful Titan spawn. Oh boy.
Ooh. Okay. Intriguing. 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 Intriguing.
Because it depends, because there are certain myths in which a sphinx can actually wield a sword because they have 4 arms like a harpy, but there are others where they just have lion paws so they can't. So I'm kind of hoping maybe perhaps not biblically accurate retribution, but it is a possibility.
Huh. Okay. Concerned.
Concernicus.
Yeah. Well, thank you for answering my question.
If you got any more, let me know.
Solomon, any questions from your side?
Y'all think of Persephone and Hades? Because everyone in the call thought they were pretty fucking cool.
A well-adjusted married couple. Is that even allowed?
Especially in a Greek myth? What?
This is a Hallowed Haven Studios production. What do you mean they're happily married and everything's golden and beautiful and nothing bad ever happens for them?
You know, that's why when Coda was like, oh, so you guys are on a break 6 months a year. And then Persephone was like, no, like I just go visit my mom. And she's like, oh, so not a, oh, okay, so
So
being on a
you
break
just
is
go
not.
on vacation to your mom's place in the Hamptons. Okay.
Oh, okay, cool. I thought, because like breaks and, okay, I see.
There's a decent chance Mom doesn't see it that way, because Mom has lingering issues over how this whole thing went down. But
Yeah.
You know. Oh, I have a question for Book. What was Hephaestus' first reaction when he saw the first text that he got back from his son in 3 weeks was Circe?
there was a sigh that actually heated his forge.
Oh boy.
It was so powerful. And he keeps asking, can I just put a volcano in the middle of our island? And he keeps getting told no.
Just a little one. Maybe even a magma vent out beyond the coral reef around her island. Come on.
Do it like Yellowstone, or no, we'll do it like the mud flats in Los Angeles.
Just a little one as a treat.
In La Brea tar pit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I actually got a question as just now.
Okay.
Is there anything y'all are looking forward to before the season ends? Like y'all are hoping to happen before the season ends?
I need Coda closure, okay? I need to know what Net's deal is by the end of this season, all right?
I think the deal is that she's a child.
Oof.
Once again, I must exercise my rights under the Fifth Amendment refuse to answer.
That's fair.
Uh-huh.
just to throw in my own personal opinion on Net is that it's the fact that she was given these godlike powers at such a young age that he basically might as well have just gone to her after nap time and given her the gifts along with a juice box. And growing up with that certainly doesn't help, no matter what the books from Percy Jackson might say. That much power put on people that young, it's going to be bad in the long run.
Wow. Well, that's great to hear.
We're all rooting for Coda, okay? We're Coda
I
stands
Coda.
in this show.
I root for Coda. I don't root for Net. I root for Coda finding someone better.
Really?
Oh.
I am so shook. I thought this whole time people has been like, oh my god, Coda, like, You got to get your stuff together, which I mean, like, yeah, she does have to get her stuff together, but like, wow, I did not know.
You're working on compressing your shit. I don't know if Net ever thought about doing so the same.
Damn. I'm gonna pour one out tonight. Okay, cool. Well, that's exciting. I hope also for closure, but I don't know.
Closure might not be nice, but I do hope you get it.
And I think on that note, we're gonna wrap it up for this episode of After Dawn. Thank you so much to Solomon and Sticker for talking with us today. If you, dear audience, want more of this overcaffeinated and undermedicated dive into the people and plots of our HHS stories, After Dawn comes out every Thursday. If you want that buzz while it's at its freshest and piping hot, come find us on Patreon. For the cost of a cup of coffee, just $5, you get all our monthly episodes of After Dawn just as soon as they're ready to go. They'll appear on YouTube about a month later. I am Bookkeeper.
And I'm Latte, and we'll see you next sunrise for the latest After Dawn.